Hello,
and welcome to the Gaming Adventures of Kit and Tibbs podcast. Welcome back. This is our third podcast, and I apologise in advance for sounding croaky as hell. Is it? No, it's not. Well, it's episode 2, but including the pilot, it's our third one. But anyway, yeah, I'm as ill as a parrot.
Yeah, if you got the plague or something
as
similar.
ill as a pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I apologise for croaking and sniffing, and I'll probably blame it on Kit anyway later.
Right. So how are you doing anyway this week? You alright? Apart from the ill?
Apart from being half dead and only crawling out of bed for this, I'm doing alright.
Okay, that's good.
What about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Alright.
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
I'm right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I literally nearly sneezed.
Okay, don't sneeze.
Okay.
No sneezing.
Alright, I've got to last the whole time without sneezing.
Okay, ready?
Half an hour. Okay. Anyway, let's get into it.
Gaming news.
This week on the gaming news, we have got the Just Cause 3 demo. Not demo. I wish there was a demo. It's a trailer.
Just the trailer?
Just the trailer. Just
the trailer.
Just the trailer.
Okay. Right.
Anyway, yeah, and it's just pretty much a lot of fire and explosions, and there's a car through the flames, and then a guy falling, which is literally what it is.
And that's the whole game, is it?
Not that. Yeah, that's it.
That's all it's going to be.
That's it in like chronological order of how the game is going to work.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it wasn't the best trailer, to be honest, but oh well, I'm sure that they'll kind of reveal more as we go. Anyway, do you know much about the Just Cause series? Or?
Not really, no.
Well, pretty much all it is that you get plonked in a country with a dictator, and you've got to kind of like meddle with all this shit and like try to destabilize him and like sort all of that out, and then just claim you're an amazing American and
okay, that's a lot resting on like one man. Is he like a kind of G.I. Joe figure?
No, he's a bit of a badass, to be honest. He's got a
he's
grapple
a maverick
hook. He's got a grapple hook, and
well, like Batman.
Yeah, he's pretty much Batman, but
without the fancy costume.
The thing is, if he was wearing the costume, he'd get a bit hot because most of the places he goes to are like Caribbean islands and
yeah, you don't really want to be wearing like a full
that.
bat cape and stuff in those sorts of places.
But anyway, we don't really have a release date properly yet, but it's meant to come out kind of late in 2015, so we're talking around November, December time, and that's going to be on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Okay.
You can have a look at the trailer or whatever you want to do. You can have a look at it in the link that we're going to put in the description below.
Yeah.
Again, I've pretty much summed it up in like a couple of words: fire, car, falling. So
yeah, and that's kind of all it needs.
Watch
really.
it if you like. If I'm right, then let me know. Anyway, the next point is that there's a new release for the Total War series, which has come out this week. Total War Attila.
Oh, so like Attila the Hun.
Wow, you latched onto that really quickly. I was expecting it to be a bit of a slug to get you to know what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, it kind of talks of the division of the Roman Empire, the development of trade in Constantinople, and then like the historical situations which actually allowed Attila the Hun to kind of become such a power in.
So do you think they're going to just keep on making the series until they get up to the present day?
They will do, and then there's going to be a game of how like the people made the games. And no, I reckon they should just make a kind of, it's David Cameron.
Oh no, that'd be awful.
He's the new Attila the Hun. It's like David Cameron sends ships to Barbados
to pick up his wife.
Yeah, and then that's literally it.
That's all the game. That's all of it.
We're really we're cracking out these really short games as we go, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyway, it looks really, really, really good, and that's a PC exclusive mainly because of how big it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge game. If it's anything like Rome Total War 2 or any of the like Total War series, then it's going to be really good. So I hope they haven't changed too much. I haven't played it yet, but I'll definitely be getting hold of that at some point.
Awesome. And
just whacking out my Hun style. Anyway, another game that has been released this week is called The Order 1886.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I know. It's kind of like
is this kind of an Assassin's Creed type sort of thing?
You're not too far off. It's set in Victorian Britain,
Ooh,
but like
fancy.
like an alternative one. So it's like so there's like wireless communication and just kind of a few things which make the plot a little bit easier to kind of thing, which is all right for us. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, it's a PS4 exclusive, unfortunately, but it's pretty much follows you, who is a descendant of a knight of the Round Table, like Arthur's
So you
Round
mean
Table.
like in Assassin's Creed type thing?
And there's a like continuous war against some half human, half beast things, and I guess you're now like the part of it. But there are blunderbusses in it, so I'm sold, to be honest. You can just like kick some furry ass, and yeah, it looks really, really good, and the graphics are really, really cool. My favourite bit of the trailer that you can also have a look at, which we'll give a link in the description below, is these men are like classic Victorian British, and at one point in the trailer they're like lifting something up together, and all you hear is you know,
noises.
and then it all falls down, and it's like, yeah. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the gaming news.
Gaming news.
Cool, and now it's time for our next segment, Game of the Week.
It's Game of the Week.
Awesome. So this week, my Game of the Week is actually, it's a strange one this week. Actually, I have to admit, I've been playing quite a lot of iOS games recently, and one of the ones that I've been playing is actually called Inventioneers. And it's an iOS game that's sort of it's designed for children, really. And I kind of downloaded it just because I was a bit bored. And I have to say, it's a fantastic game. It's like Wallace and Gromit and all these other sort of crazy invention games, and it uses science and all this sort of stuff, which you think would be quite boring. But actually, it's freaking hilarious. So I have to say, you have to download it. And
I'm back.
It basically... It basically just it's just a fantastic play, and it's surprisingly difficult for a children's game. I know that we've played some levels.
I love how you're like, it really is difficult.
It is honestly difficult.
People are like, no, it's not. No. My 6-year-old completed it yesterday. He's not even 7 yet. And you're
basically
you're like sweating like when the wind, like the light's swinging. And you're like, oh my god, I just can't do it.
The thing is, I did actually do some research for it today just to see kind of who made it, and it's a Swedish company that make it with the view of children between 2 and 8, which is a little bit
German children. The
Swedish
engineering. Oh, okay. Sweden, are they an engineering kind of capital? I think.
I don't know, but they are really into sort of child education and stuff like that. So they.
Do you feel educated?
Yeah, kind of.
to a level of 2
but
to
back
8.
to the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's fantastic. It's just a problem-solving game, and it's really addictive. Like, it is so addictive. I mean, you know, like all the best games, they're just really addictive.
And is that why you haven't eaten for a few months now?
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
okay. Like, one day you'll be able to make your own fridge or something, if you're like good enough. By the time you've trained yourself and honed your skills.
So anyway, what's your game of the week?
My game of the week is Borderlands. The first
cool.
one.
The first one.
If you like a bit of shooting and looting, then you will like Borderlands.
I think they call it schlooting.
Schlooting.
Schloot.
Isn't that what you call, like... It's like calling someone a slut in slow motion.
A sloot.
Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the only game I've been really playing this week, because I started playing it because the pre-sequel came out like probably about around Christmas time, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, I think.
And so I just thought I'll kind of like work back and kind of get used to the story and get used to the characters and everything again. But I kind of left it for a while, and I'm back on it, and it's just so good.
Yeah, you love that series anyway, don't you?
Yeah, it just hasn't aged whatsoever. Which it came out in October of 2009, and I literally like even if it came out today, I'd buy. Well, I wouldn't buy it because I've already got it. But if I didn't have it, I'd buy it
But
because
you'd
it's
buy it.
amazing. It's
But
brilliant.
I think the nice thing about that is actually the graphics style.
Oh, I love it.
It's
like
kind of like a cartoon.
cartoony.
It's kind of.
It
It's
kind
really
of
nice.
reminds me a little bit of if you've ever played like any of the like The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us. What are they called? Telltale games.
Yeah.
They're kind of the big, thick black outlines of things, and
Yeah.
and they just parody everything. All the characters are funny, and it's just
Just good games.
it's just really, really good.
Proper
And
entertainment sort of
like
thing.
every step of the way, there's no part of it that's boring. Like even like there's loads and loads of speech for all of the like enemy characters, which is all just hilarious, and I just love it, and like it's just brilliant. So if you guys haven't played it at home, you have to. It's one of those games that you've really got to you've got to tick the box. You've got to play it at one
games
point
for
in
your
your life.
bucket list.
Yeah.
So-
Don't even skip over it. It's only like £5 now. I think I got both of them for £5. Borderlands 1 and 2. So
Yeah, I think they are really cheap at the moment.
so I don't like.
And
You haven't got an excuse.
I don't
do
know
not
why
have
they're
an
so
excuse.
cheap as well. I think maybe it's just their age, I guess.
Yeah, they're quite old now.
It's Game of the Week.
Because we're going to go into an ad break in a minute, you see.
Oh,
Yeah.
one of them. They're the most exciting part of our podcast.
Yeah, they are literally the most exciting part of our podcast. And yeah, I wonder what the ad's going to be this week. Because it could be anything, couldn't it?
It could be. It could be socks for kittens.
Yeah, it could be warmers for toenails.
It could be a collection of walnut-made figurines of US presidents.
Or gentrified bunny rabbits that are all facing towards the east.
Or Jenga, but with a slide on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, just with a slope, so you can't
Is
pile them
Jenga
up.
a Spanish game? Like, is it meant to be like whatever the Spanish
I just
pronunciation
realised
that
this is a game. This is a games podcast, so we can
So we
talk
can
about this.
technically talk about
This is
this.
part of it. Sorry,
Yeah.
is Jenga a Spanish? I don't know.
Just because, what would it
Jenga.
be? Yeah, just wondering if it's meant to be pronounced.
Jenga.
Is that racist?
No, it's an axe. Yeah, it's
Right.
racist.
Okay, so we're going to go for an ad then.
Get out of here.
So we should do it properly, like they do in like the old American TV shows, like the 50s. And here's a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, do that. Ready?
Okay.
Do it again. 3, 2, 1.
And here's a word from our sponsors. No, just say, do it.
What?
And we'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. See, in the real thing.
Yeah, but they'd actually be in the room at that point, and then
Yeah,
you'd
and then
point to some guy.
They wouldn't even know. They'd have to do it themselves, and they'd be like, sort of hot dogs.
Weenies.
These hot dogs are delicious. Christensen's hot dogs. They're the dog you want hot, sort of thing. And then
they sure are.
and then they get money in their back pocket, wouldn't they? That's how it would work.
Like they literally just like you actually see it get stuck in there.
Anyway, let's go for an ad.
Let's go for an ad. Yeah, we're back.
That was great, wasn't it?
No, that one was on par or better than last week's.
Yeah. That definitely. Yeah, definitely buy some of that.
Of those weenies.
Yeah, definitely. Of that. They don't really do adverts for that sort of stuff on the internet, do they? Because it's all targeted, which is a shame.
They don't have much food.
No,
Really.
don't.
Oh, actually, I guess if you search a lot of food on the
Yeah, I
internet,
guess you
then,
would then, wouldn't you?
then
So
you
I
get
guess
a
it
lot of food.
depends
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry that someone right now
Someone
is feeling bad.
feeling very bad. So we
Someone's like,
apologise to them.
I just want to eat.
Okay. Anyway, so now it's time for brilliant. And on the retro gaming corner this week, I have got a game from our childhood once again.
Okay.
I mentioned it 2 podcasts ago in the pilot episode,
And
we sort of have a bit of a sort of talk about it, and it's The Getaway.
The Getaway.
Yeah, fantastic underrated game that was never kind of, well, it actually wasn't underrated because it was very much enjoyed at the time, wasn't it?
Well,
It's just
by everybody else, like everybody who played it enjoyed it, but it was never really.
Apparently it was quite good. I did some research that said it was rivaling Vice City at the time, I believe. So it's it's not too bad. But yeah, and if for those of you who don't know it, it's this kind of action-packed open world adventure sort of game, and
Where's it set?
It's in central London.
Set in London.
The fantastic thing about it is that they actually reproduced in the game specifically and scaled 16 kilometres squared of the central of London, or the centre of London anyway.
Which for a PlayStation 2
For a
game.
PlayStation game, and they had terrible problems anyway trying to get it to work. They had to create little boxes of sort of loading that would travel with you, kind of, that were very minute,
Yeah.
because otherwise it just couldn't handle the amount of information.
And yet it still worked very seamlessly, I thought.
Yeah, it did take them 2 years to make. But to be honest, it was very good, and it's so accurate. I mean, most of my knowledge of London streets came from that game. So when I went to go live in central London, that was it.
You were ready. You were sorted.
Yeah, I was absolutely sorted. And
a bit less pixelated in real life, though.
a lot less pixelated in real
Just a
life.
little.
Anyway, so the game, as you know, was based. It was a dual plot, wasn't it? So you had like this double sort of plot. You were a criminal and you were a policeman, and the criminal was Mark Hammond, and then you had DC Frank Carter.
Yeah.
On the side, and you had to play both these sort of stories which intertwine. So fantastic writing as well, sort of from that point of view. And yeah, so they had like real world cars as well. They didn't even make up cars; they were proper licensed cars. You had like Saabs and
real world gangs
and Peugeots and Citroens and Fiats and TVR that we found,
Lexuses
that we kept on trying to drive into a room.
Yeah.
MG Rovers, Jensens, everything like that. It was absolutely brilliant. Now there was a little bit of controversy around this game.
Really?
Yes, I don't know if you knew this at the time, but you remember the famed mission that we spoke about in the first podcast?
Oh, the BT mission.
The BT mission.
BT
Okay, now
mission.
I found this article on the BBC News, which is dated the 2nd of January 2003, and it basically says the headline is "Gangster Video Game Upsets BT," and Sony actually agreed to edit the video game, which shows the central character posing as a BT employee and gunning down police officers. And what they did is actually take all the livery off of the BT van. So there was no BT logo in the new make. So we got the original copy, because in the ones produced after 2003, they were all had like plain white vans, which is really strange, isn't it? Because it wouldn't have been the same game without that.
Brilliant.
You
don't want to upset BT though, do you?
Yeah, their claim was that they didn't want their name associated with a violent game, and they were scared that their BT men would be attacked in the street because of the game. Now, strangely enough, they weren't the only company to think this, because what I've got here is actually there was actually a BMW 5 Series that was going to be in the game that they removed from the game because BMW at last minute said they also didn't want
to be associated with.
But
gangsters.
they said it. They did say it first. They didn't want their car to be in such a violent game, and but the makers were a little bit crafty, because what they did is they kind of paid a little bit of a homage to this car, because although it appeared in some of the promos, which I'm assuming they got license for, they actually in one of the missions put the car up on bricks, kind of like as a nice little, we got it for you, but I'm sorry you can't drive it, sort of thing, which I thought was quite nice. It was nice, a little kind of
just to kind of throw it in there,
yeah,
but not piss anybody off.
Well, exactly, yeah. And you had some fantastic weapons. Like, do you remember the meat cleaver?
I don't actually. All I remember is Yardies and Triads.
Yeah. See, that was another thing. The soundtrack was brilliant as well, wasn't it? It was really sort of...
There was a part of the game where we just once we killed everybody, there'd be music in the background, and we'd just stand there and listen.
Yeah.
It was like when we were taking down some meth farm or weed farm or something.
It was
meth
farm.
Meth
GTA, I think.
Oh, I've been planting my meth seeds.
Yeah. No, it was. I think you're talking about. It was. We were trying to rescue someone inside a crack den. I think it was.
Okay, now the proper terms come out.
Yeah. So we were going down a street as I think it was a Yardie crack den or something, and there was this kind of like sort of reggae rap.
It was
sort
just
of
awesome.
gangster.
I can't even remember it.
I can kind of remember the rough thing. I wonder if it actually still exists as like, or was ever kind of isolated as because that happens now all the time, doesn't it? Sort of. But yeah, anyway.
It was 2003.
So yeah, fantastic game. If you haven't played it, definitely play it.
We're starting to get a bit like that. Like everything that we say, we're like, if you haven't played it, just play it because it's really good.
Just give it a go. Do you reckon
you can get a copy for £1?
Oh, I reckon you could definitely get a copy for £1.
Yeah, a copy for £1. It might not have a BT symbol on it, but I'm sure you'll live without it.
Well, so thank you. That was
Retro Gaming Corner.
Now we're on to our next part of our podcast.
It's the most awaited arrival.
There we go. So most awaited arrival.
Most awaited arrival. Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry for the sniffing. My most awaited arrival this week is Dead Island 2.
Ah, cool.
Have you heard of the Dead Island series?
Yes, I have. I've not actually played them though.
It's pretty much where you're plonked on another, like, again, it's kind of like Just Cause in the way that you're just plonked on some Caribbean island and then expected to just live. But what happens is there's a complete zombie outbreak whilst you're on, like, holiday, and then you've got to kind of, like, make weapons out of stuff. Like, that's my favourite part of it. Like, you get to craft.
You actually get to craft the weapons. That's fantastic.
It's so good. You get to find,
so
like,
you can customize
blueprints,
them, basically.
and then you got to collect all the stuff. Then you, like, make some electric zapping, slicing, badass stick of death.
Oh, that's really cool.
And you get to slap zombies upside the head with it, and it's really, really good. It's the new Dead Island 2 is set kind of a few months after the end of Dead Island 1, where the military have kind of quarantined the whole of California because of the zombie outbreak. So I'm guessing that you're going to be in the middle of California and have to, like, collect people and help them and help them survive, and really kind of like all that. It's kind of it feels to me like it's going to be much like the old game, but a few different stories. But the whole concept of it, of just building your own stuff and like throwing it and hitting people with it, it's all good. I love it, and I think there's going to be more zombies, more weapons, and more fun.
Fantastic.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Brilliant.
And hopefully you'll have a go at it at some point.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I'd love to try it. Sounds really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I was expecting you to be like,
No, it does.
no, I don't like blood.
I quite like a zombie game.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, where have you been hiding this information?
Well, I can never find one that's sort of really properly kind of
satisfied
true to,
your gross mind.
Anyway, so my most awaited arrival this week is actually already kind of arrived, but
that's breaking the rules. I don't know if you know how the future thing works.
Because it could be most awaited arrival, or it could be I've waited for it quite a long time.
We're gonna have to.
So
we're totally just gonna have to.
I'm not redoing the whole segment for this. No,
we're gonna have to get a contract drawn up for this thing, because I swear to God, like, okay, go for it anyway.
Okay, well, it's actually The Escapists.
Okay, all right, okay, you can be let off for this one, because this is a really good game,
and it's absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you've seen any of the trailers for it. Basically, you're breaking out of a prison. It's kind of got that kind of Minecraft versus meets Pokemon vibe. It's absolutely brilliant. So you've got to craft items. You've got to plan the perfect escape from the prisons. I believe there's 6 prisons in the game. Each of them has multiple ways to escape. You can even do sort of jobs within the prison, and there's over 100+ items you can seek and craft.
Do you know if you get guided to how to break out, or whether you get to kind of make your own, like, plan it yourself?
Yeah, you do kind of get to plan it yourself, from what I hear.
Oh, that's really good.
And it just looks absolutely fantastic. It's that fantastic mix of retro gaming versus sort of newer games. Yeah. It's fantastic.
It kind of sounds to me like I've seen a couple of playthroughs of Prison Architect, which is where you kind of create your own prison and set it up. It seems like literally the complete opposite of that, but the same sort of style, and it seems really, really, really cool.
The thing is, they've made it fun as well. They've got a lot of the guards and stuff say really stupid, hilarious things. So apparently they have strong opinions quite a lot of the time.
Strong opinions? What does that mean?
I have no idea. But some of the items you can use involve cement, herbs, screwdrivers, duct tape, red chilies, and a spatula and a burrito. So there's loads of really crazy items.
I know what I'd like right now.
A burrito?
I was going to say a spatula.
Oh, okay.
To make my burrito.
Okay.
But it's cool. Each their own.
Yeah, and apparently there's talk of multiplayer in the future with more prisons and more items. And that costs... and that's coming out sort of on Xbox or PC, really. It costs, and I think you can get it on Steam as well. I believe it costs $14.99 to actually buy.
$14.99, that's not too bad.
And that's Xbox One, mind you. And I believe as a download it's $9.75. So I reckon it's well worth it. And I kind of wish that they'd bring it out on iOS or
360,
3DS or something.
Or 360.
Well, I was thinking more kind of handheld, like kind of Pokemon style sort of.
If you're listening, 360.
Okay.
On
Fine.
360.
Okay. Anyway,
It can't be that much of a crazy, like, big mental game, can it? Like, in terms of, like...
I know, but I know you do have to
operating
completely redo it. The coding is completely different. So
Oh, that sucks.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was our most awaited arrival.
It's the most awaited arrival.
And so we come to the last item, which, as you know, is...
The funniest thing on the internet.
So what have you got for me this week in the funniest thing on the
I've
internet?
gone a bit in a different direction. I've gone, like, because, you know, we can't all be fun and games here at Kitten Tibbs.
Towers.
Kitten Tib Tower. So I've gone for some really kind of important news, which I thought kind of overweighed the kind of funny factor. Because on the 26th of January, I don't know how this passed, like, straight through, because the importance of it is really kind of once I let you know, you'll really understand. On the 26th of January 2015, in the Daily Mail,
Oh no.
there was an article, and the article was called "Robert Downey Jr. holds receipt in mouth while carrying 3 heavy shopping bags."
Oh my god. There must have been a
How
slow
did I
day.
miss that? How did I miss
Must have been a
that?
slow day.
Slow day. This is cutting
This
edge
is
news.
riveting news.
This is riveting news.
Oh my
God, I want to know what he did with the rest of his day.
I want to know what he bought.
Oh, there are 3 heavy shopping bags.
3 heavy shopping bags.
They kind of gave us that much information, but not really.
What, and not one of them decided to just peek through?
Not one of them decided to actually find some proper news.
No.
But yeah, I like the picture. There's literally there's 10 pictures to accompany him holding some shopping bags. I'm sorry, but the minute, I think it would be even weirder if Robert Downey Jr. never shopped.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of news, because of how's he eating, where's he getting all of his groceries from and stuff. But come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't
Come
it?
on. Oh, he's walking down the street like a normal person.
Oh no.
Who would have thought he had 2 legs, 2 eyes, and
some
walk?
shopping bags.
Yeah, and 3
that's
shopping
so bad.
bags.
Why is that a thing?
I reckon that's probably a line in it. He has more shopping bags at the moment than he does legs.
Oh, there we
How
go.
does he do it?
That's
I
a
just
story.
don't understand where the mentality was for putting that out as news.
I think it's the Daily Mail. There are no rules.
I just thought I had to just bring that into everybody's lives, because it was so fantastic
Yeah.
and so just representative of what the hell is going on at the minute.
Wow.
And but there's probably some really weird underlying political message, isn't there?
Probably. Yeah. Shopping bags.
Made
are
of
probably
they've probably
illegal.
got people inside them.
Yeah.
He's carrying babies in the shopping bags.
Oh no.
And now it's gone cruel, isn't it? All of a sudden everyone hates Robert Downey. Now he's got a receipt in his mouth as well.
Yeah.
He just bought them babies.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Bought them babies on the black market. Just come on. Like news. What happened to good old news? There was a time when if there was no news, they just wouldn't print them. They just wouldn't print
They just
anything.
wouldn't print it, yeah.
Remember there was an episode of the news in, was it the 80s or 60s or something? They were just literally we have no news today.
In the old days, they used to, if there was no news, they used to just put some music on.
Yeah. They used
On the
to just play a
radio.
bit of,
And then some of the Victorian newspapers were only one sheet anyway.
yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. You
But
just don't
one
do the
sheet
other
is
side.
plenty.
Yeah, that's enough for news, isn't it?
Yeah, but anyway, I've had my little rant now. I'm just going to go lay down and have a breather, I think.
Good idea.
God.
It's the funniest thing on the internet.
Wow, so thank you for listening to
Thank
another
you very much.
episode of the gaming podcast of Kit and Tibbs. I don't know what we're calling it exactly. What's the official title? Is it The Adventures of Kit and Tibbs?
The
Gaming podcast.
Adventures of Kit and Tibbs podcast. You
Okay.
said it at the beginning.
Did I?
Oh, wait, no, you said the podcast.
I always say
but
the
you were-
podcast bit.
It's my job to cover the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very, very much for joining us, as usual.
I can't believe you have the plague, though. So, yeah,
I
get over the
know,
plague
I
for next
know.
time.
That's the thing, I can only... All right, anyway.
I'm going to
Um,
go off and buy some roses to put around your bed and sort of make...
Well, I'm not dead.
No, they did... Oh, okay. Did these have to cover the smell?
You know,
they do that just before.
Just throw a rose on top of me, and just put, the first shovel of dirt on me. Is that what you're going to do?
Pretty much, yeah.
But anyway, as I was going to say, as usual, you can get in contact with us on Twitter. We're setting our Facebook up as we speak, so that will be out soon. And just follow us on Twitter at Kit and Tibbs.
Yeah, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you can do that as well.
And if you want to send us any messages, use the hashtag Kit and Tibbs.
Yep, brilliant. All right, we will see you another time. Bye-bye.
Bye.